right, we're going to go ahead and get started with today's topic. Today's JMCC live topic. I should have drank some water. So I wrote in there, I don't know if it's in the description. As usual, Facebook, hey guys, and Instagram, hey guys. So yeah, we are freestyling it today a little bit. I have a little bit of notes, but there's a lot that I want to get into. And so we're going to go ahead and get started. I just made some more notes actually before I turned on the camera, before we got live. And so, yes, there is quite a few things that I want to talk about. I think this topic is really interesting, mainly because I speak to a lot of different women, mainly different people regarding their careers and where they are. And there's a lot of things that go into where they are and what they're doing and what they're not being honest with themselves about. And so as a career coach and just as a coach and a people watcher, behavior watcher, if you will, I could tell a lot about what folks are, where they are based on what they don't say, because people will tell me a lot of things, but it's not what they say that I really pay attention, not that I don't pay attention to, but it's not what they say and what's on the surface. It's what they're not saying, or it's what they, their body language, the hesitation in their voice or the trepidation, or it is the inflection, the facial feature, the facial expressions. Communication comes in so many different ways. And I love to watch and listen to people when they tell me their story. And so one of the things that I do as a coach, my clients, we do video sessions. And my preference is on video so that I can see, not just hear them, but I can see them so I can really get a feel for what they say and what they don't say, right? And mainly what they're not saying, and just watching their facial expression, body language, all of that. Especially too, when I do my free consultation calls, I do those as video as well. So some people will turn on their video, some people won't. But those, for the most part, everyone is turning on their videos. So we're talking about their challenges and their issues, and just their career in general. And a lot of the conversation is in what they're not saying, because I've been doing this for a long time. I've been a project program manager for a long time. And one of the skill sets there is really knowing how to communicate and having really good communication skills and listening skills. But for me as a person, I watch everything. I look at everything. I'm looking at the way you present yourself, how you're sitting, if you're slouching, if you're upright. You may say something, but your facial expression probably says something else, right? And so all of that to say, when I'm having conversations with people about their career, it's really what they're not saying for me to really dig deep and dive into areas that they may not necessarily believe that it's there. Not that they don't believe that it's there, but they're not aware. Let's put it that way. They're not aware that it's there, but I pick up on a lot. So there is very little, especially with my clients, people that I've been working with for a while, very little that they can get away with, because if we're on video, and even when they're not on video, it's in how they speak and what they're, just the inflection in their voice and the pauses, right? When I ask questions or when they're talking. So all of that kind of goes into the topic for today. And it actually does go into the topic for today. So today's topic is getting to the next level. And, folks are asking, and you hear that a lot, leveling up leveling. What does that mean? And so for me as a career coach, and for those who are just joining or have not met me before virtually, hi, I am Jackie Mitchell. With Jackie Mitchell Career Consulting, and I am a career and life coach. And I work with mainly professional women who are looking to up level, who are looking to get to that next level, the higher roles, more senior level roles, I should say. Those who are looking for a new career opportunity, typically moving up a level, and those who are in their careers and are looking to move up. So basically, I work with women who are looking to up level. And I know you hear that terminology very often. What does that mean, Jackie? It means for people or women who are professional women who are badasses in their careers, and they are really looking to get to that next place, whatever that next place is for them. So they can be unemployed and wanting to now, yes, I came from here. I want to now make this next move. And my next move is a bold move, or that next move is more of a senior level move. So leveling up doesn't only mean I'm in my job or in my career, more job more career than job. I'm in my career and I want to get to that next level. I want to, let's say I'm not a manager just yet, but the next role for me is a managerial role. If I'm a manager, the next role for me, it may be associate director, maybe director. So things like that. Or it may not even be in title, but it may be in the responsibilities where it is you're taking on more responsibility and it is more of a senior level type role. So I work with women who are looking to do that, who are seeking support and guidance and mentorship in doing that. And so in doing that, there's many different strategies, but what I work with women on is specific strategies geared towards getting there. So if you are looking for a new job, how do I do that? What does my resume look like? What does my how do I present and communicate in an interview? How do I negotiate? All of those things. And then when you're in the job, your first 90 days, what does that look like? How do I set expectations? How do I set boundaries? How do I set goals for myself in those first 90 days so that I can build credibility and trust? And then if you're in your position, it's now, how do I get to that next level? How do I get a promotion? How do I get raises? How do I do those things? So I work with women, no matter where you are in that cycle or that phase of your career. I meet you where you are and I help you get there. So today's topic is really about just that, getting there, wherever that there is for you. How do you do that? And so when I started talking on this live, I'm talking about behavior. I'm talking about how what people are saying and what they're not saying. It really comes down to having the conversation, not with me, but with yourself. The very first thing that you have to do is really have a conversation with yourself and understand really where you are. Are you where you want to be? And that may sound like a very surface level conversation or question. It really isn't. Think about where you started, where you are today, and what does tomorrow look like for you? It's a very simple exercise. What does tomorrow look like for me? Meaning, what do I want my tomorrow to look like? What is it? If I had to write an ideal job description, what does that look like? And that's something that I have my clients do that and they fight me on it. Oh my God, they fight me. They're like, why am I doing this? And when all is said and done, they realize why they're doing that. Write your own job description. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to have specific keywords and things like that. Write your ideal job description. And that is personal to you. What does that look like for you? Where do I want to go? So in talking about up leveling and getting to that next level, start by writing your own job description. because what that will do is help to flush out what you really want. There's no judgment. It is, again, it's so personal to you. There's no judgment behind that. If you want to go to the moon, write that down. That's hyperbole. But if you really think about what is it that you want? So an ideal job description for you may be multiple different, multiple roles rolled up in one. You never know. But to start, you have to write that out, and then you're going to synthesize and parse out all of that information. But the best way to start is to literally write your own job description. It's not something that you're going to take 5 minutes to do, maybe over a week, maybe, excuse me, maybe even longer, but you want to start writing it, go away, come back, write some more, go away, come back, write some more. It's just a brain dump for you. What are the things that I want to do? What are the things I want to be responsible for? What are the, let's say, projects? My background is in project management. What are some of the projects that I want to work on? What would be ideal for me to work on? What type of manager would I want to report to? Things like that. So in writing your own job description, don't get hung up on the title of the role. Don't even worry about that. Just really start to think about, what is it I want to do? What would be ideal for me to do? What that does, like I said, it helps to get your creative juices flowing, helps to get you to start thinking about your next move, right? Because if you have that in you, okay, I want to do these things. I now want to. So let's say you're a project manager and you've been a project manager for a while, and you've gotten increasingly more complex, more visibility type projects, higher budget type projects. And now you're a senior project manager and you want to now go into program management, where you're not in the day-to-day, chasing people to get stuff and things like that. You're now managing a group of projects, and you have project managers reporting to you. So let's say you want to get to that role. What does that look like for you? Now, it's not going to be ideal, but that may be the next step for you. In writing out the things that you want to do, maybe that is what the role is. Maybe as you're writing this out, it looks like, again, if you're a project manager, maybe what you're writing out looks more like a program manager. Or maybe what you're writing out looks more like a project management office, a PMO director. Never know. But all of those things, write that out. If you're a business analyst, what's the next step for you? What is it that you want to now do? Sometimes it may not be a jump in title. It may just be, and I don't like to use the word just, but it may be more responsibility. Whatever that is for you, write it out. That is the very first step in understanding what and how to get to the next level. You need to know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, if you don't know what you want, you are going to be all over the place. You're going to have conversations with your tribe, your group of people or friends or colleagues, and they're going to be like, what the hell are you talking about? You're all over the place. Last week it was this week it's that. Keep it to yourself. Literally get a piece of paper and write it out. I cannot stress that enough. That is the first step. We talk and we think so much, and so much is in our heads that we will, and when it stays in our head, we will talk ourselves out of it. Why? Because it may seem unattainable. It may be, who am I to want that? Or that is out of reach. I can't do that because I don't have these skills. Write it down. Write it all down. Write out your ideal job description. Write out what you want. From there, then you're going to go and that's step one. Step two, what you're going to do with that is, now let's get real with ourselves. What are the skills that are needed for this type of role? Again, don't worry. Don't get hung up on job descriptions. Hey guys, thank you for joining on Instagram. Don't get hung up on job titles. Do not get hung up on job titles. It's all about the responsibility and the role. What is it that you would be doing? Think about that. Where's your passion? What are the things that you would give you joy, fulfillment, satisfaction? All of those things. Just kind of think about that, write that out. I'm going to keep saying it. That is one of the most important things, because when you have it on paper, now it's tangible on paper for you to read in black and white. Okay, let me go now and do some research. What are the skill sets that are needed for this type of role, Listen to the words that I'm saying. What are the skill sets that are needed for this type of role? That's one thing. Part 2. Part 2B. Now look at yourself and be honest with yourself. This is a 2-parter. 3-parter, actually. Be honest with yourself. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses. And people don't like to use the word weaknesses. I'm using the word weakness. You have to know your strengths and weaknesses. You have to know what you're good at. You have to know not only what you're good at, but what you are competent in. Do not fool yourself. Again, this is no chaser with me, no chaser. And when people hire me, this is what you get, because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You're not paying me to sugarcoat and hold your hand and be your mom. That's not what you're getting. What you're getting is somebody who's going to tell you the truth, because I've been there. I've worked with people who've been there. I've worked with executives. I know what they're looking for, right? And so be honest with yourself. Know your strengths and your weaknesses. I cannot stress this enough. Like all of this, you have to know where you're competent. What are the things that you are good at? What are the things that you could do with your eyes closed? Right? List that out. Next, you're going to list out, what are the things that I'm good at? I know I can do these things. I'm really good at it. It kind of goes with competency, but it's just kind of another level. You want to break it down the most to the least, right? So that would be your skill sets and traits as well, So communication, relationship building, things like that, building key relationships, things like that. So what am I good at? What am I competent at? How does that compare to the list that you've now just made? That on this list, these are the skill sets for this type of role. Where's that gap? What you're going to do is want to bridge that gap. And if you see that there's a large gap, then now it's on you, because now you're aware. Now you're aware of what it takes to get there, right? You're aware of what it takes to get there. In order for me to get a role like this and have responsibilities like this, I now have to become this type of person with these skill sets, with these competencies. If you did not listen, go back and listen 2 episodes ago. I want to say episode 21 of Bench Talk. Who do I now need to become? Episode 20 of Bench Talk. I believe it's 20. benchtalk.net. Go check it out. Podcast. It talks about what is it? I just lost my train of thought. What is the word I'm looking for? Stop diminishing your greatness. That it's something along the lines of that. Do not sabotage your greatness. Don't sabotage it. What are the things that you now need to do? Then who do you need to become? Right? So those are the things, when you put it in black and white, take it out of your head, because when we have it in our heads, we have a tendency to say, we can't. I can't because, or that's out of reach, because we think it is. Put it on paper. Get the facts. This is you doing the due diligence. This is you, doing the due diligence, getting honest with yourself, really doing the research that it takes, because successful people do not go through their lives or careers just following trends, just, moving by default. They're very intentional, very strategic. They're extremely strategic and extremely intentional. They do research. They find out what it is going to take to get to where they want to go. And then now they do the research, they become that person, they do those things. This is not for the faint at heart. This is not for someone who's like, oh, I'll do it, but I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. So while you're doing it tomorrow, Jill over there has done it, and you're watching Jill and you're sitting there like, how did Jill get that? What did Jill do? Well, Jill took her behind and did some research and figured out what she needed to do to get to where she wanted to go, and she took action. You can download all of the free stuff you want. You can attend all of these classes. You can have books on your bookshelf, audio books, all of it. You can do, as they say, all the things. Or you can download all the things, but until you have strategic action behind it, step out of that comfort zone. You hear people say it a lot, stepping out of what's comfortable for you and now doing. The very first step for you may just be writing it out. And that's okay. But that is still more than what a lot of people do, because if you're in your head, you're just going to be in your head and it's going to look unattainable and feel unattainable. Once you have it on paper, now you are aware of what it is. You're aware of what it takes. And I will even go even farther and push you. Here's something else that you want to do. If this position or this role or this job description that you've written out is similar to something that you've seen, and you know people or have a circle or, someone in your network who can introduce you to someone who is in that field, you definitely want to have an introduction. You want to have an introduction. You want to have a conversation, right? I talk about informational meetings all the time. You want to have a conversation to find out, one, is this something that I really want to do? Two, what is this person or these people's experience in it? Three, what is this role really about? Because if you don't know, you're going to be in your head. You're going to think, oh, it's this, it's that. I can't do it. There's no way I can do it. I have had clients who will fight me on their limitations, right? I had a young lady who, I don't even want to give it away, because then if I give it away, you guys will know easily by doing a little bit of research, but I want to protect her privacy. But she was in a field, and let's say she was on the ground or in the field, right? In the weeds of things. And she is very educated, very good at what she does. And she has been doing it for a very long time. And so the point came where, let me nudge her a little bit and see where she is. And she did this exercise. Like, I'm literally telling you what I have some of my clients do. Just, it depends on where they are. But she did this exercise and she realized, you know what? I want to be more on the program side. And so she battled me through it, because yes, she wanted to be on the program side, but then she kept saying, I don't have the skill set. I don't have the skill set. There's no way that I can even interview because I don't have the skill set. So what we did was we took it out of her head, we put it on paper, and I had her go and do research. And when she did the research, she came back, she was like, holy shit, I can do this. I literally have the skill set for these job descriptions or job postings that are out there. I literally have what they need, and I have more, one, because of the education that I have, the degrees that I have. So I said, see, it takes some work. Nothing is going to come like the wind and blow by you and say, hey, here it is. You literally sometimes have to go out there and get it. You have to go out there and do some research, right? And so the research is, do I really have what it takes? And I'm going to say that. Do I have what it takes? If I don't, what do I need in order to have what it takes? That is where the difference is between those who are successful and those who are settling. I'm not even going to say unsuccessful. Those who are settling are okay with the status quo. They're okay with doing day in and day out with what they have and where they are. They're okay with it, but they still complain. And so, and get into the next level for this topic. Part of it too is you're okay with where you are, but there's just that one thing that's like, if I can do this one thing, or I don't even know how to get there, or just, it's okay. The company is good. I like my boss. I love the people I work with, but I could do more. So many women, I've met so many women who are in that boat, who don't know how to do more. They don't know how to get to that next spot. They don't know where to start. And so one of the places to start is doing your research, doing the due diligence. Like I said, the difference between people who are successful and people who are settling is not, is those people who are successful, they have taken the action to get there. The people who are settling, they're sitting back. They're like, this is what I have. It is, their favorite phrase. It is what it is. No, it's not. It is what you make it. It's what you make it, So it's you doing some research, you getting out of your head. If you need to talk to people to get more information, get the information, rather than saying it is unattainable. It is attainable if you do what you know you need to do, because you've now done the research, you've talked to people, you know what it takes. Do what you need to do to position yourself to now get there. All of that is taking action. It is being strategic. It's being intentional. It's not being led. It literally is being strategic and being intentional in getting to where you want to go. So what is getting to the next level, and how do you, if you see my shirt, Dunder Mifflin, I just got distracted. I love t-shirts with different sayings on it, different things. But anyway, wow, the squirrel thing. Anyhow, getting to the next level really is about you doing your due diligence, getting out of your head, getting stuff on paper, whether it's computerized, laptop or whatever, but getting it on paper, printing it out, and really doing the work to find out what is it going to take for me to get from my point A to my point B. And your point B for you can be absolutely anything. There's no judgment on that. That is just for you. So if it is responsibility wise, write that out. If it is getting to a next level, literally going to a next level in your chosen career, write that out. What does that look like? And not just looking at it, doing something with it. What do you need to do to get there? And here's the thing that I have to caution you on, is having those conversations with your manager and your coworkers. They may very well know you based on what you've shown them. If you're not happy with that in how you show up and your performance and things like that, you want to be careful having those conversations with them, specifically, mainly with your manager, because they may put you in a box and say to you, oh, you don't have the skill set for that, or I don't think you're ready. If you feel that you're ready, make sure that you're ready. Like, how do you know that you're ready? And actually, I would venture or dare to ask the manager, why do you believe that I'm not ready? One thing, they're not God. They're not, end all be all. They may have ulterior motives as far as keeping you in their pocket or keeping you next to them to help them get to where they want to be, or to make sure that certain things are done within the department, or you're such, the person that they go to, the go-to person. I talked about managing up in one of the JMCC lives. A great manager will coach you and mentor you to take their position. Keep that in mind. A great leader will and manager will coach you and lead you to take their position. Why? Because they are thinking the long game. They want to move forward. They want to move ahead. They don't want to continue doing what they've been doing. So who is it? Great managers think this way. Who is it that I can now bring up to take what I'm doing so now I can go here? Think about that, right? You really want to think about that. So in that same vein, you want to be careful. You want to you have to know your manager, but you want to have the type of relationship with them where, granted, you could respect their opinion, but again, it is their opinion. But you do want to look at where you are and now decipher, with the information. How do I get from where I am to where I want to be? Can I do that in this organization? I'm not saying, I know a lot of what I say a lot of times is look elsewhere. Look, promotions does not necessarily have to be within the organization that you're in. I truly believe that you can give yourself a promotion by finding another role at a higher level in another organization, because there's so much more that comes with it, right? That's a promotion. People don't think so. That is you owning your career and giving yourself a promotion. So being stuck, settling, and not knowing where to go, you're in your head, you're thinking, you're just looking around you and thinking, this is it. I've hit a ceiling here. I am, my responsibilities here are not what I really want them to be, but where am I going to go? And so if you really can't have that mindset, and how do you get out of that? Putting your stuff on paper. What are the skill sets that I have? What's out there? What is this job description that I've written that would be ideal to me? And how does that match up to anything that I've seen out there? What do I now need to do to get to that next level? Like my client, she had everything, but she didn't know it because she was just in her head with it all, and it's not about just looking at your resume and seeing, oh, do I have the skill set based on this job description? That's not it, because 10 times out of 10, your resume before working with me is not in a point where you can really communicate your value. So you're going off of this older resume that probably does not reflect where you are today and your true skill sets, your real true skill sets that I help pull out of you and communicate. So you're basing it off of something that may not be representative of who you are and what you can do, and your competency. That's a key word, the competency behind it all. So looking at these job descriptions or talking to people who are giving you information about a higher level role, and you're thinking, oh, I don't have that. Or here's a good one. With women, I find that we do this often, and I am guilty of this as well in my previous life, where we feel that we need to check every box for what they're looking for, what they're looking for in these job descriptions that we see, these postings for new roles. We think we have to have 100% of what they're looking for before we even apply. We count ourselves out so many times because of that, and you don't have to. What do you do? Want to get to that next level? Get honest with yourself. What is it that I know? What are the here's something I didn't talk about. What are the transferable skills that I have, and let me go after it anyway, because the worst that can happen is that they pass you by, or you get a letter saying that it's not a match for them, or they've, decided to go a different way, whatever, but at least you tried. And so then we have this thing, this goes into so many different areas. Then we have this thing about rejection and all of that stuff that we bring and put on it, and we don't have to. We shouldn't. The shoulds, right? There's a way to think about it. There's a way to reframe it. And in reframing it, I have to put this out there. I know it's not the topic, but rejection just means that's not for me. It's not a rejection where it's a personal attack. They don't like me as a person. You just for whatever reason, they didn't see in you where you are a fit for this position, and that's good. say thank you, and now you move on to the next thing. Do not internalize it and personalize it and think that, oh my God, it's a rejection. They don't like me. They don't know you. They see a resume. They have no idea who you are. So I just wanted to put that out there. But I want us to get out of our heads and get on paper. So getting to the next level may not be what you thought I was going to talk about, the answers, the way that you thought I was going to talk about. It really boils down to the mindset that you have. It boils down to you really putting things on paper and looking at where you are. Not just talking about it, but looking at where you are, where you need to be, doing the research, doing the due diligence, what is really required, where am I in the vicinity or, around this? Where do I fit in? Where do I stand with this? Because a lot of times, let's say you don't mark off every box. Like I said, you can still apply. You can still have those conversations. You can still move forward, get yourself and position yourself to where you can now take that next step. So the next step for you may just be, like I said, writing it down, having conversations, getting the fear out of the way. And fear sometimes stops us from doing a lot of things. Fear will keep us in a, it will keep us settling. It will keep us settling. It'll keep us comforted. But like I said, the difference between those people who are successful and those people who settle, it's action. It's taking that action, taking that next step. And it's very interesting because I just had this conversation about where we are, and I'm actually doing an interview next week with a major publication about where we are given this climate with the pandemic and with company layoffs and things like that. My clients are still getting new positions. My clients are still getting promotions. We're still seeing a lot of companies are still hiring. A lot of companies are still hiring. There are positions out there, especially projects. And people think, oh, I'm not a project manager. You don't have to be a project manager to get on a project. You can be a subject matter expert, which is going to lead me into another topic in just a second. But you really have to open your mind to where you are and be honest with yourself, and what do you now need to do that? And sometimes it's getting the help that you need to make that next leap. And when I said earlier to just kind of be careful in talking with your manager, you have to consider the source, because some people will want to keep you locked in a box and make you believe that you can't do more than what you are doing. That's not true. So it's you having the confidence, knowing where you're competent, knowing that, you just have that, it's not even an itch. It's just this thing that, I know I could be doing more, try it. You never know. Just like my client who literally counted herself out for weeks. She fought me on it. I'm like, apply, go and talk to someone, apply. And when she did, it was like the heavens opened up. Oh my God, I do have the qualifications because of the experience and how long I've been doing this and how I do what I do. They loved me in the interview. They love that I bring this, these fresh new eyes and this perspective. You never know, but we count ourselves out. We get fearful. We say, oh, it's a pandemic. I shouldn't make a move. I need to be comfortable. I need to be careful. I think those are just excuses. They are just excuses, but you guys will make those excuses. It's for you to know for yourself, okay, am I happy? Am I satisfied? Am I fulfilled here? And some naysayers may say, oh, you're never going to be happy in any job. There's no job that's fulfilling. No, there's a career that is fulfilling to you. There's a career that is that brings you satisfaction. It's for you to find what that is. And you got to get out of your head. You got to start putting things on paper and just really sifting through and really going through and doing the work, because I can guarantee you successful people and people who are successful do not sit in their heads and stay in their rooms and stay in this silo and count themselves out of everything. They don't do it, and you don't need to do it, right? So with all of that, it really boils down to you making a conscious effort to do some research on what it is you would like to do, find out, really be honest with yourself to see where you are and where is that gap, and how do you fill and bridge the gap from where you are today to where you want to go. It is not rocket science. It is not necessarily simplistic, but there's a simplicity to it. There is some ease to it if you take the time and you're just, you find that path, what I call the path of least resistance. Who are the people that can help you? Who are the people that within your network, or who are the people you can reach out to that can help you? Where can you get the research on this role that you've identified for yourself? What can you do to find out truly what it takes to do that? Because you would be surprised. The things that you're interested in and have passion around, those are things that intrinsically you have in you to know how to do, how to learn how to do, to keep you motivated and inspired. So you want to go that route. You want to be able to go that route and really dig in, and then make it, whatever that next action is. That action could be for you to have a conversation. It could be, like I keep saying, writing it out. What is the next step? Maybe that next step now is to update your resume. Maybe that next step after that is to send your resume to a hiring manager, or send your resume to someone within your circle who knows someone who knows someone, or someone who can give you feedback on, does this make sense? How can I get in? How do I break into this? It's not about sitting with your fear, sitting with all of your excuses on why you can't, having the pandemic as dare I say, as an excuse, throw darts at the screen. You can fight me on that all you want, but people are getting jobs. People are moving up in their careers. They're getting high paying positions. People are interviewing and getting job offers with really good companies. Positions are out there. People are making a move. Successful people do take risks, but they take calculated risks. You want to do that. You cannot sit and complain about where you are. Even if you're not verbally complaining, you're complaining. Somebody is going to piss you off one day and be like, I don't need this. I should be this, or the other, right? But you're not doing anything about it. And so I'm literally giving you simple steps to do, where it's really not a risk in doing it. It's doing some research, but not doing research and putting it on the shelf. It's now doing the research. Now you're aware, and you can make more of an informed decision and better choices on where you want to go next. Hope that made sense to you guys, because it is something that I am so passionate about, with getting women to go to that next level, wherever that next level is for them, and not settling. I could see it in people's face. I can hear it in their voice, where they feel, maybe it's not desperation, and sometimes it's not. It's just it's that thing that's like, I don't know if I can, because we're not necessarily trusting ourselves, because we maybe have not made good decisions for ourselves, or we're in a position or in a company where it's not really boosting our confidence. We're not feeling motivated. We're not feeling inspired. and we're just like going through the motions on a day-to-day basis. Life is too short. Life is way too short to live like that, to feel like you have to do that, to have to settle. So if you're settling, and I'm going to throw this out before we leave, if you're settling in that one area of your life, I can almost guarantee there's another area that you're settling as well. There's another area that you're settling as well, another area that you're settling. And then it comes to a point where you have to ask yourself, when do I stop? Right? When do I stop? When do I take that action? And it doesn't have to be jump and do everything at once. It's just take that first step. Take the next step. Take the next step. Let me work on this one thing. Right? Let me work on this one thing. And sometimes, I'll have clients look at we do this wheel of life, and which area is the area that will have the most impact for you. If it's relationship, work on relationship. If it's career, work on career. If it's money, work on money and finances. If it's family, work on that. If it's health, work on that. Sometimes you can do 2 things. 3 sometimes gets a little bit hectic, but you want to start working on areas in your life where you're feeling like you're settling. And how do you know you're settling? It's like you don't have that spark. Not saying that every day is going to be great and perfect, but there's just that thing, like I said in the description, there's that thing that's missing. Can't put your finger on it, but it's just that thing. And so sometimes to bring that thing to life and to expose it is for us to look at, what is it that what would bring me joy? What would bring me satisfaction? And really writing that out. So when I say, started out saying, write out your ideal job description, it could be all of those things. Write out the things that bring you joy, things that could bring you satisfaction, things that will help you to feel better, right, about what you're doing. What are those responsibilities that you'd like to have? Write all of that out. Do some research, talk to some people, set up some informational meetings, and then again, look at where you are. Really do the due diligence. Where am I? Where do I want to go? Is there that much of a gap? And what one of the things I work with my clients on, how much of a gap is it? Where do we close the gap? How do we bridge the gap? And then what's our next step? Which typically is moving to that next thing, getting to that next thing, taking bold action, because there's no failure. There's only lessons, because if you don't get it right for yourself, there's that lesson. Okay, what do I do next time? What do I do next time? So all of that really comes down to building a career plan for yourself, writing these things out, taking the assessment on the organization that I'm in today. Does it support my vision to where I want to go? Take off the table the fact that you love your coworkers or hate them. Take off the table that you have a really great relationship with your boss. Take off the table that you're working remotely and you love it. Or take off the table that, if you're in the office, it's close, the commute is not bad and you love it. Take all of that off the table and really assess, is this organization aligned with where I want to go, and can I do that here? If you can, kudos, great, because it sometimes is a little bit easier, and sometimes it's easier looking elsewhere. But really do that assessment. Does this organization support my vision in getting where I want to go? And do I have the tools to do that? Do I have the resources? Are the resources available? And how likely am I to get there here? From where I am today, how likely am I to get to where I want to be within this organization, within the time frame that I set for myself? Think about that, right? And again, go back to the manager that you're working with. Do they and can they support you in doing that? You have to look at that relationship. You have to look at the source of information, because sometimes they want to keep you next to them. to help their needs, help that department, and not lose you. So those are things you want to think about. But you want to make a choice. You want to make a decision on intentional action, and you want to get qualified people around you to help you now get to where you want to go, or help guide you and support you in where you want to go. So I hope, guys, that every week I say it's going to be a half an hour, but I get so excited giving you guys all of this information because it's a lot of good stuff that I don't think that you're necessarily getting elsewhere in the way that I know it to be, with things that you probably have not thought about doing in the way that I teach it, because a lot of it is internal work. We try to run out and do all of these things. And it's like, hold on, sister. It's more in how you're thinking about it. How do you see yourself? Where do you see your competence level? Where do you see your confidence level? Let's deal with all of that before you start running to do updating your resume, running to post your resume everywhere, which is a big zero, no, do not do, because you get nowhere with doing that. Don't do that. It's really sitting with yourself and understanding what you want and where you want to go and how to get there. And sometimes the how is not what you should really be concerning yourself with. It's more so doing the research on what it takes and who do you need to become, and then working through, okay, how do I now need to do this? Okay. So I'm really excited about I'm so excited about so many things. One of the things, if you guys haven't seen, we launched, I don't know if this is week 2. My weeks are just going, I don't even know when one starts and one ends, but I'm uber excited to launch C-Suite Success Society. And so if you think that this is information to help you get to the next level, oh my gosh. What I do in C-Suite, it's really interesting. I literally lay the foundation and the groundwork and framework on helping you get there. So whether you're seeking a new job, a new career opportunity, we help you to secure it, whether in all 3 phases of your career. So you're either seeking a new position, you are in your first 90 days, and how do you build credibility? How do you hit the ground running? How do you take all of those challenges as the newcomer, the outsider? How do you build trust quickly? That's one of the things. You got to get in there and build trust and credibility within 30 days. And it is possible to do that, but you have to be strategic in doing that and come in as the what we like to call the creator of excellence, right? Not as a worker, not as a note taker, not as somebody who is the newbie. And if you are using that terminology, newbie, I need you to stop. Do not ever, don't ever, oh, I'm new, because successful people don't do that. Badass women don't do that. We're not the newbie. We are here to get the job done. We are here to help move us forward. So that's one thing. So we definitely help you in your first 90 days. And beyond that, so after the 90 days, what happens? You're in performance and maintenance mode, right? After a year, maybe you want to move up. After 6 months, maybe you're in a position to move up. We help you with that as well. I help you with that as well. So it doesn't matter where you are out of those 3, you have access to the entire library of courses, coursework, modules, video modules where I'm walking you through, showing you how to do that, giving you the strategies, giving you all of the information that you need to help you with whichever I can't even damn think, whichever phase that you're in. This is why I can't go for too long, because my brain gets like, I need to eat some lunch, have something to drink, something. But yeah, whichever phase that you're in. And I'm also super excited. And I have my thing. You got where is it? You got this? To remind me, I got this. But anyway, so we help you, or I help you with all of those phases. I help mentor you. So it's a premium mentorship program. And within it as well, there is a community, and I've invited some really badass women in this community to help when we're doing our monthly master classes, our monthly mentoring sessions. So you have more than just my point of view and my strategies. You will get that with them as well. So I'm really excited. We launched that. We launched C-Suite. I want to say it was last week. I don't even remember, because I'm just so excited about getting in there and talking and working with people. We have our we have our fourth our session, monthly session for June. So I am, for this month, June, I'm so excited with the new members and the new professionals that are in there. We're talking, and it is amazing. These are some really amazing women who we work with each other and help, literally mentoring you through the challenges, mentoring you to the next level. So I'm really excited about that. And so what I did with this, because I wanted this to be something that you can literally have the mentor in your pocket, a pocketbook mentor, where it is a one-time fee, but it is not monthly. There's no renewal subscription for new members. And this is, I maybe not make good business sense. I don't know. I don't care. For me right now, it makes sense. You know what? We're doing this one payment. It is yours. You're in the community. You have access to me. In that community, you have access to all of the modules. Depending on where you are, you have all three. So if you're seeking a new job, that's fine. You get that. And you get the other two. If you're in your first 90 days, that's fine. You get that, and you get the other two. If you are looking to up level with promotions, you get that, and you get the other two. So it doesn't matter. You have all of that. It's just a one time. There are tons of bonuses that I threw in there for you. One of the ones that, they're all really good, but actually, yeah, one of the ones that I'm really excited about is, what is it called? Oh my goodness. Executive presence, having executive presence. That goes along with what I talked about here today. What that is, debunking the myths of executive presence. It is not what you think. It is not, this big secret. Anybody can do it. So I walk through how to have that, what it looks like, and how to help you move through that and navigate what that looks like for you. Because for me, it looks like one thing, and then you can take that as a foundation and help build yourself up. So what we do in there, that is what we're doing. We're building you up and helping to keep you at the level, and help you increase and help you ascend and help you get to the levels. There are things that you don't know, which is okay. You can ask the question. We're here. There's no judgment. There's absolutely no judgment. So I'm really excited about that. So it doesn't matter where you're coming in at, you get access to all three, in addition to the community, in addition to asking me questions. We're literally on a platform where it is a private group. You can put in a chat, you can put in a post. It's almost like a Facebook group, but it's not that platform. But you could put in a post to chat. I have it on my phone. I literally am responding, So you have a question, you're at work, like, hey, this is what's happening right now. What the hell do I do? Right? Or this is coming up. What do I do? So there's tons of bonuses. There is access to me. We do have monthly sessions, and where you can ask your questions, Q&A, post your questions. We have that as a topic. So much is involved in C-Suite, where it literally, you have me as a mentor to help guide you through your career, regardless of the level, regardless of the phase that you're in. Okay. So if you guys have any questions about that, you want to DM me, send me a private message, send me an email, you can definitely do that. I'll put the link in the description on Instagram and on Facebook for you guys to have that, to check that out. I'm really excited about C-suite. When I tell you, if you want to get in, you better get in now, because I don't know how generous I'm going to continue to be with it, because literally you have me in there, and you're getting access to a lot and helping you land your job, helping you to get promotions the right way, having those conversations, what your year looks like, all of that planned out, with templates and with scripts, with what you say, the meetings you have, literally, because like I said, successful people, successful women, we are strategic, we're planners, and we are very intentional, right? And so I'm helping you to be that, to get there. So I'm really excited about C-Suite. Check that out. The link will be in on Facebook. I'll have the link in there, and the link will be in Instagram. I'll have that. So something really exciting. I got to tell you guys this before I leave. So very interesting. Sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut. And when I see things that are incorrect, and I'm following folks, and there's a post here about this or that, for some reason, when it comes to project management and program management, I'll see things that are just totally incorrect. And because I have been doing that for 20 plus years, it's near and dear to me. So I think it was last week, there was a meme or a reel going around where I saw this guy make mention of how to get into tech without knowing tech. And one of the jobs to get in tech without knowing tech, something to that effect. And I couldn't keep my mouth shut, because project management was one of them. It said IT project management. And then it went on to say, you don't need to know tech to get into IT project management. And it said they make an average of $109,000 a year and blah, blah, blah. And I could not contain myself, because I know about it. I've been in it for a long time, and that was incorrect. There's a lot of incorrect information out there for young people, for people who are not in tech, people who want to get into tech. In my years, I should say, I'm maybe aging myself. It's just IT, whatever. I call it IT, and I'm going to continue, right? So, and as an IT project manager and executive program manager, that is incorrect. And I let them know. I said, it's too much false information being put out there. So because of my post, and it was on Black Tech Charlotte, they had reposted this reel, and I said, that's incorrect. And as a project manager with so many years, over 20 something years, that is just incorrect. And there's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. So they invited me on to clarify what I meant by that. So on Tuesday at 3 p.m., I will be talking with Black Tech Charlotte, and I will be posting about that. I'll be talking with them live on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern about that. Why I made the comment and what I have to back it up, because there's a lot to back it up. It is a huge misunderstanding that, and I'll talk about it then. I'll save it for that. But there's a huge misunderstanding. There's false information being put out there for people who want to get into tech and don't know how to. I'm literally, just a little bit about me. I have a master's degree in technology management, technology. I have my bachelor's degree actually is in management information systems. It was computer science, but that's a long story. So I went through a long time in computer science, almost got the degree, and changed at the end. Crazy, but that's a story I can probably tell later. So I do have the background, right? I do know what that takes, and I've been in IT and a project management professional, PMP certified for over 10 years, and have worked in IT pretty much all my professional career. Yeah. So it's very interesting. So I will be having that conversation with them Tuesday at 3 p.m. So I think that's going to be fun. So I'll post about that in there. So guys, join that. Listen in to me defending my stance that yes, and I'm going to say it here, yes, you should have some technology background, some information background. You got to know what the hell it is you're doing before you get into project management. And now I remember one of the things he said is that if you are good at planning and organized, then you can be a project manager. We're going to talk about that because that totally got under totally got under my skin, because I'm gonna give you the real on what that is. Regardless of the type of projects you're managing, whether you're using traditional methodology, which typically people are not anymore, if you're using Scrum, doesn't matter. There's some shit you gotta know. Excuse my language, but there's some stuff that you have to know, and I will be talking about that with Black Tech Charlotte on Tuesday at 3 p.m. So I will be posting on that. But I really want you guys to check that out. But I really want you guys to take a look at C-Suite. We are now open. It is a premium mentorship program for women who are leveling up, advancing in their careers, and want mentorship throughout their career, regardless of the stage that they're in. I'm uber excited about it. I'm so excited about it that the way that I have positioned this, literally, you pay once, you have it. It's yours. It is yours. And I also offer a payment plan. I'm not sure how long I'm going to keep that up, but yeah, check it out. So I will post, if it's not already there, I will post on in here about C-Suite, the link in it. If you're on Instagram, you can go to my bio and just scroll from the bio. Scroll to C-Suite Success Society. You'll see it there. And for Facebook, there is a link, C-Suite Success Society. You'll see it there. Say that 10 times. Anyway, guys, it is 1:40. I am running longer than I wanted to because it's me. It's Friday. It is an awesome overcast day, but it's beautiful still. Guys, have an awesome rest of your day, a great restful weekend, and I will see you back here next week. Bye, everyone.